Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Quite a heavy box today, no idea what's in this. We got pack 3 of the Agora models release. I built a Ferrari 250 GTO. Now I took advantage of the early accelerator starter on this. So basically I got packs 1 to 3 pretty much all in one go. So that's why I've got pack 3 here that I can do now. But if you do want to follow along with this build, I have put a link in the video description, and there's also a QR code on the screen you can scan and you can get this. Now in the last stages we did quite a bit of work. Look, we've done the internals of the car already, we've done the bonnet, we're starting to work on the engine today. Lots of fiddly details on that. So without further ado, let's get cracking. So if you remember in the last stage, we made this cam cover here and we pushed all of these little bolts in. I've saved the rest of the bolts on a bit of masking tape, as you can see there. And the reason I'm mentioning that is because in stage 15, we're going to be doing the cam cover for the other side. And what that means is getting my magnifying glasses off and cutting all of those little studs off. You know what, on this rare occasion, I'm not actually going to use my sprue cutters because they're quite close to the actual sprue tree. A really sharp scalpel is going to help you out here. And by putting them on this masking tape here, I've stopped them pinging all over the place. And just like I did first time round, it's just a case of getting your tweezers and pushing these all the way in. I'm going to do that all the way around. Now that does take a while, but it is rewarding when it's all done, as you can see. Then I want to take the cylinder head, which is stamped with an L, and in the last stage we created a distributor here. That's just going to be going into the slot here. Now it has got a keyhole pattern, so it can only go in one way like that. It's held in with one of these B screws. That's perfect. Then it's just a case of taking the cam cover. It can only really go on one way. If you try and put it on one way, it just slides around, as you can see. Put it on the other way and it locks in. So that's the way it's definitely going to go on. Once again, it's B screws going to be screwed in from the underside here to keep that into place. And with that section complete, that's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 16, I'm going to be doing the other carburettors. Let's get these open. And what we want to do to create them is we want to take these two parts. They'll only orientate one way because of the squares. So again, that's how they're meant to fit together. But if you try and put them the wrong way, they're just not going to fit properly. So they can only go one way there. I'm going to securing them with type B screws, just like we used in the last stage. And this is just going to be going down this end here. So that one's complete. Do the same again with a B screw on the other one. So that's 2 done. I'm going to be taking the central sections of the carburetors now. That looks like this. There is a keyhole pattern, so they can only go in one way. They actually go in this way here and slot down, so we can see them from the other side there. Do the same for the bottom one. Perfect. So that's those in. And then all I want to do is take the upper end of the carburetor, and that's just going to push into the tops of these like this. So one here. And one there. So now that's made one complete one. Just going to repeat that for the one on this side. So again, keyhole pattern, 1 and 2, and then pin it down with the tops here. 1 and 2. Excellent. All we've got then is the carburetor trumpets to go on. They just go on the tops here, and I just push them down. So one here, push them all the way down, and I just keep doing that through all the 4 points at the top. Now, it is worth noting, when you do put these trumpets in, they do have a flat side. So you want to make sure the flat side's facing towards the inside so that they can butt up against each other, as you can see there. So put this one in as well. That looks perfect. And then all I'm doing is just getting a little hammer, just giving that a bit of a knock there. So that's in like that. Perfect. So I'll just show you on the top camera, that's how the tops should look. And that's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 17 here, I've got the left side engine block. Now I know it's metal because it's in foam, and I've got some Type C screws here. What I'm going to be doing is taking what we created in the last stage here, and quite simply just putting the top over this section like that. It's going to be held in from the underside with 2 of these C screws, and they are going into metal, so make sure they're tight as you can get them. Now we've made 3 lots of these carburettors now, as you can see, because we did some in the last pack as well. I'm going to be pushing these into place now onto this section just here. So I'm going to be fitting these into the left cylinder block, and I believe they go this way round. So 1, 2, and 3. Whoops. Just like that. Now it's going to be fiddly because to keep these in, I'm going to be putting the right side of the cylinder block on. I am considering gluing these in because I don't know how easy this is going to be. Let's have a look. I've got 2 in. Let's just get this last one in. Oh, there you go. See, I've done it without gluing. So that looks good, doesn't it? Now, the pin side of these carburettors, if you can look on the top, should be facing towards this edge here. Now, I want to hold this in with a C screw. And this one's just going to go down the end here. So that will hold these parts together. And then stop them coming apart. So they can't fall out now. I want another C screw just into the hole there. Now, I'm very conscious in the instructions that they've only kept 1 set of trumpets on. But obviously all of mine are in place, so they're staying. Oh, it actually tells you later on about these trumpets, so don't worry about that. I've kept mine on while I did this. They were actually saying to remove the trumpets in that step to avoid damaging them, but as you can see, they've gone on perfectly, so I'm not worried about that. But that is all there is to do in that stage. That looks good. In stage 18, we've got the lower section of the engine block. Let's get this open. Again, wrapped in foam means we've got metal. And the first thing I'm going to want to do is bring over what we created and what we created in the last pack, which was the transmission here. And as you can see, we've got 2 holes there, which are actually now going to link to this section here like that. I've got Type C screws ready for this because I am going to be screwing these in from the other side. I have put some oil on my screw as well. And I'm just going to put 1 in gently, just to hold that in, and the next one. And you really do want to make sure these are in tight, otherwise your transmission is going to droop, which you don't want. That's perfect. So that's now the transmission in. Now the part that we just got in this stage is going to be following the trend of what we've got there. It's going to go on the bottom like this. And this time we need 4 C screws to hold this into place. So I'll show you on the top camera. You can see where it's going to hold. Just trying to find a good place to hold it myself. Just down here. So I'll get all 4 of these in. What do you think of that? That looks good, doesn't it? That's all there is to do at that stage. In stage 19, we've got the lower panel of the engine block, some screws, some other details in there. So turning this over, this is just a press in. It's going to go over the lugs in here. So that's the lower panel in place there. Now, I've got another sprue just here, which I need to cut off some sections. Now, these I can get to with my sprue cutters. So let me get these off. And if you have a look on top of the engine here, we've got some holes just in the rocker head cover here. That's what these are going to go into. And they just push in. So one in there and one in this side. Push them all the way down. They're not going to need glue. And do the same on the other side. Now I've got these lateral distributor components, and they're going to be going into the holes in the side of the distributor here. There is 2 lugs on them, so you've got a big one which is going to take the silver lug and the small one which is going to take the black lug. And I'm going to push them in, and then that's looking like that when that's on. Do the same with the distributor behind it. And as you can see, they're both in. Now we do have 2 things left over from this, which is the distributor cap connectors, which I'm guessing are going into the 2 holes here, but they haven't asked us to put it in yet, so I'm not going to do that, just in case we have to put some pipes on here first and then put it in, so I will keep those safe. And there's only one more stage to go, which is now stage 20, and there is a reason why the box was so heavy. Check that out. Now, we're not actually doing anything with this, but you know for sure I'm going to be opening this. I mean, look at it. Let's take it off this plastic just so you can see. Oh, it looks lovely. Look at it. Let me show you here. Look. Wow. And it's really big. Matches my shirt. I wore red for a reason today. But there you go. That's what that's looking like. You already have the Ferrari branding on the side as well, which is cool. But I can gently put this back on here, because we don't actually need that today, because that is the end of that pack. I really enjoyed that. But if you do want to get this for yourself and you can take advantage of that early accelerator, then I have put a link in the video description. There's also a QR code on the screen. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.